So we're taking a look at the Aerocool Project 7 case. Now this comes with RGB, a tempered glass on the side, and also you can get this in black and white, and it's all for £90. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, check out these beautiful cables. Custom to any color you like. 8-pin, 6-pin, EPS connectors, 24 connectors. Oh yeah, Shagmods, shut your mouth. Check out their website. So first off, what we're going to do, we're going to talk about the tempered glass on the side. And it's got 4 thumb screws on there, which is nice, easy access. You can use a flathead screwdriver if you want to undo it. I'm just going to be a bit careful with it on the side, which is quite cool. I do like the way it looks on there. It's got rubber grommets that are inside the actual glass panel itself, so you don't scratch the glass or anything like that. So now I'm going to put it off, and basically in the actual, on the side of the case, it's got standoffs, what you would use for your actual motherboard, and on the actual glass it's got the grommet holes that go straight through, so it kind of hangs on the actual side of the case, which is quite cool. And then the screws get fed straight through to the grommet hole, and then you screw it on there and it stays on nice and tight. It's really quite cool. So looking at the glass has got a bit of a tint to it, and it's really nicely carved. It can only go on one way, so once you take it off that one way, you can only put it back that one way as well. As you can see straight away from the case, it's got a massive cutout, so that means you would have easy access for CPU air cooler clearance, as well as AIOs or custom water cooling. That means you can put your motherboard in there, and you can easily get the retention bracket to the back, and you won't have any problems, especially if you put it on wrong, or the CPU air cooler the wrong way around. You can easily get back to it. I can see that it's got 2 SSDs on the front here, which means you can show off your SSDs. It's got a nice shroud that covers over the power supply and all the cables. It's got 7 expansion slots on the back for your graphics cards. On the back of the 120mm fan, it comes with a Molex connector as well as a 3-pin fan header. And then you've got a few standoffs that are in black rather than brass that's on the back there. You've got a nice cutout as well for the 24-pin cables or SATA connection with the SATA cables. You can also draw SATA cables through the bottom here, as well as the SATA connectors as well, so you can have power to your SSDs. You've got a cutout hole there in the shroud, which you can put 420 fans in there, so you can put 3 140 fans in there, or you can put 360, so 3 120 fans in the front there. Not any room really for a 480 sort of rad that will go in here or anything like that, but you can put a 360 rad in the front here. You can also put a 240 rad at the top, which is okay, I guess. And you can also put a 120 into the back there, so you can do a push and pull configuration, hopefully, but we'll check this out and let you know. If you've got like a fingertip width of like clearance on the front, on the side here, in case you want to put some RGB light on the side down here, you can have that. Maybe put some RGB there. And you've got a mesh grill here, which we're going to take the whole case apart as well, see how many mesh or filters that are on this case. Also on the back here, you can have your graphics card to stand up, so you can take this expansion slot at the back, and that is there. So you can have your graphics card facing frontward, so you can show it off. So it's up to you. It's got its own little bit of customality to it, or customizable, that's the word I should be looking for. So you've got 2 thumb screws on the back, and this will reveal obviously your retention bracket. And it comes off quite cleanly. There's no real sort of sound padding on the back here, so if you really wanted to have it a little bit more quiet, you can put some dampening on the side of this. It's got a little bit of a flex to it, but it still feels quite decent quality. You've also got all your cables on the side here. They're all coloured black with a bit of grey to it, so technically if your build is like red and blue or whatever, it's gonna look funny. So technically you want to kind of hide these sort of cables. But what I like about it as well, you got the SSD slots here as well, so easy access to actually connect and hide your build as well. So if you don't want SSDs in the front of the shroud, you can actually put them on in the back on the side there, or you can just have all four. Depends on what you want to do with it. So on the bottom here as well, this is where you can put your mechanical hard drives in. So you can put in your big mechanical hard drives hidden into the back rather than in the front, as well as your SSDs and the other SSDs. So that's a total of 6 hard drives altogether. And then you've got a bit of clearance underneath as well to hide your cables, and then you've got some standoffs to your power supply. And then on the bottom here you've got a standoff from the ground as well, so it's to stop like carpet, dust and all that sort of stuff getting into the computer really quickly. So they've added some stands on there to make it look a little bit more important, and it's quite a unique sort of design because it's made out of plastic, but we'll go into that further. So now I'm going to turn the case on its side. As you can see, it's got rubber feet at the bottom, and as I said, it's got plastic feet, but it's kind of reinforced. But you just have to be careful if you've got this case so you don't actually break it, but it keeps it away from the floor. You've got your power supply and your grill there, and basically the dust will find it hard to get in there, but if it does, it's not going to be loads of dust because it's away from it. And let's turn it over to the top. Let's have a look at the top. So as you can see at the top, you've got two USB 2s, and that's backwards compatible. Say you want to put like headphones in there, that USB compatible, you can use that, or you can use the 3.5mm jack, where there's a microphone jack there. And you've got an SD card slot as well as a micro SD card slot. You've got a power button, and then you've got a reset button, and then you've got a dimmer, and then you've got a circulation or a cycle that changes the RGB lighting on the front of the case. So that's pretty awesome as well, especially if you're into gaming and video editing and stuff like that. On the back of the case, as I said earlier, you can put a 120mm fan on the back, or you can put two 120mm fans and have a push and pull configuration with a radiator on the back, 7 expansion slots as well as this expansion slot there, cut out for your power supply, and obviously an I/O for your motherboard. Now this looks pretty decent as well, but the only thing is, you know, you normally have thumb screws on the top here. You haven't got any thumb screws. You're going to have to use an actual Phillips screwdriver to undo them, but it makes it a little bit more of a cleaner look. So we're going to have a look at the filters in the top, see if there's any, and around the case. So I've just taken this case apart and figuring whether I had to actually take the actual bottom off to be able to get to the dust filter. There is a dust filter in the bottom of the case where the power supply is, but it looks incredibly difficult to get it. It's like 6 screws you have to remove to get to the actual dust filter at the back, or at the bottom I should say, where the power supply is. So the main actual way of the air coming into the case is from the front, which is where the main grill is. So what you need to do is you take off this front. Now this front is where it's connected to an RGB cable as well, but we're going to obviously have a look at that more in a minute when I put a build in there. But obviously there's a filter there, so you take the front off and then you get the filter, if I can grab it by my hands, and then you kind of put it like that. And it's like chicken wire, but it's like a soft chicken wire, so it means that you can run it under hot water and then just give it a quick wipe over, dry it, and then you can stick the filter straight back on. And it's got some slots for the actual case, and it's simple, just like that. So in the case as well, you would actually be able, well, what's good about it, what I really like about it, is that they've included in basically a little station for your actual fan headers, so that means you can hide them out the way. So you've got 2 4-pins, and then you've got like 4 3-pins, and a little button there to reset everything. It also comes with a Velcro as well, which is pretty cool. It's really quite tough, so that means you can stick it anywhere in the case and then you've got it. But the only thing I don't like about it, it's got Molex connectors. But you've got another another 4-pin header that you can plug straight into the motherboard as well, and control it all from this little board here. As well as they chuck in 4 Velcro strips, so that means that you can tie and do nice cable management, and it's all black themed as well, so it will look quite good against your cables that are in the back. You also get your screws and stuff like that for everything in the actual case, and you get some fan headers there, and then you get the RGB as well, which is in a static bag, and you connect this to the front of this case. So you'll plug it in like that, and then you'll run the RGBs around the actual case itself, which you're going to have a look at. So the RGBs, they can basically do this. So it cycles through loads of different colours, or it can do a breathing mode. So you can also have that as a breathing mode, that as a breathing mode, and so on and so on. And it's also got this pulse colour as well, so you can have it just on the red, or just on the orange, or just on the blue, or you can have it so it pulses through all different colours. So if I have it on this mode, you can pulse straight through into different colours as well, so a cycle and a chain of different colours go with each time it flashes, it will be another colour, which I think is really quite cool. And then if you don't like colours, turn it off. Oh my god, it is really quite cool. I like how you can cycle through all the colours. That's the whole point about this case really, and its innovation of design, as well as it making it nice and easy access to make builds in. So far when I built into this computer, it was really easy to build in there. It was really easy to get an EPS connector from the top, from the back. It was easy to route cables and tidy them up. You've got so much space. It also has this case as well, which could fit your big mechanical hard drives, but I had to take it out because I had a 1000 watt Antec power supply and it was quite big and it doesn't leave any room, plus it's not modular. Also you get these cables and stuff to tie it all down, which I didn't even need to use, and I didn't use that as well, which was basically a little fan header, which is definitely decent and worth using, but I just wanted to quickly show you the RGBs of the action going on in the case, and this is quite good. You can cycle the fans and everything like that with the power button there. The whole case itself, easy to build in, as I said. Lovely tempered glass, easy to clean, not really a smudge magnet unless you're going to put your hands all over it. Very good for video production or video editing, using headphones. You've got USB plug in the top, or if you've got 3.5mm jack, microphone jack can go all in the top there. The bad points I don't like about the case is that it's got one filter that's really hard to get behind the grill, which means you have to pull the whole grill out, and it's one of them plastic tabs. On the SSD, there wasn't a cutout. There's only one cutout for the SSD to go in for one SSD rather than two. And if you've got two, that means easy access for USBs connecting from the top of the panel up here, or USBs if you've got an extension, as well as the SATA connector and a power SATA connector as well. So that's missing from the actual case itself, but everything else really quite impressed with. I like the shroud as well. The shroud covers up the power supply, and oh, main point, one main point. I like the point that you can put a mechanical hard drives in these, and then you can remove this if you haven't got a modular power supply, which is really a god blessing. It's £90 to buy, and it's easy to build in. This is the end of the review. I hope you liked this review, because if you did, give me loads of likes, and if you didn't like it, dislike the video, but leave a comment down below and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.